We're going to talk to him now.
I'm going to just be honest. This was the greatest interview of all time.
This is Donovan Copley from Hot Water.
I am Kerry Miller.
Hey, I'm Ross from Prime Circle.
Love RTL.
My new addiction.
Let me not just talk about it. Let me show you in the back of the window where I'm at.
Cabinet has decided to place the entire country on alert level 2.
No, thank you for getting me out of bed this morning.
Informative.
Relevant. Diverse.
Interactive. So educational.
Fantastic. Super fulfilling.
I think most of the time in South Africa, certainly provincial cricket, they might as well play because there's no spectators going to watch anyway.
The hugging, shaking of hands, and kissing is a thing of the past.
And then overnight into Thursday, we're expecting that cold front to spread showers into most.
Playlist is incredible.
Love the music.
Best music. Entertaining.
So entertaining.
Entertaining.
They wanted radio people because radio people can basically talk shit when things go wrong.
A sight that just a few weeks ago seemed scarcely possible. Eden Park is back in business, a capacity...
No, but seriously, on a serious note, I think I actually swiped right for you the one day when I saw you. I didn't know.
You didn't.
But you wouldn't know.
No. And I love the dress. If I tell you, I didn't even wear a bra. That was so good.
Splashdown. As you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation for Splashdown.
You guys are the lifeblood of what's left of this music industry.
And of course, Noel Johnson.
We love your sexy legs.
Especially because of Noel Johnson. Jeez, that man is sexy.
Thank God for RTL SA.
You are a star.
RTL SA.
Home of legends.
You're listening to RTL SA.
Now, I always promise you good guests. And as you can see in that piece, I've only had good guests. And tonight is absolutely no exception. Actor extraordinary Thomie, listen to me, Thomie Holtzhausen. I battled to get that Holtz thing going. Correct me. How do I do it?
Even I battle often. My mom used to say Holtzhausen. I got to get it right, but I battle myself.
Holtzhausen. Is that sounds German?
Holtzhausen. Yeah, it's a German for Woodhouse.
Woodhouse. Thomie, very excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us for Monday Madness. As I sort of briefly explained to you, Monday Madness is not really an interview per se. It's just a chat between two people, and we just talk a lot of nonsense and get to know you as an individual a bit better. So I hope you're ready to be on the hot seat for a little bit.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. I don't know how you're going to get to know me. I'm still trying to figure myself out, but thank you very much for having me.
Let's start with a bit of background. You've been acting since 2002, according to your CV. And may I say, your CV is very impressive. I was actually rather taken aback. You've done a hell of a lot more than what I thought.
It's kind of what we do with CVs. We make them look more impressive than what they are. Yeah, I'm just an ordinary actor. I've been acting my entire life, basically. But I've been in Durban since 2002, been involved in the theatre scene, and now doing my own stuff at my own little theatre.
Awesome. Where were you before Durban?
Oh, I was in Bloemfontein and in Ladysmith, believe it or not.
Bloemfontein and Ladysmith. Nice. Yeah. I love Bloemfontein. I've had some really good parties there, I'll tell you what. Those oaks know how to do it proper.
Yes. There's nothing else to do there.
Oh yeah, exactly. I remember going. I traveled with the Sharks to Bloemfontein for a game, and we got absolutely broken in this tiny little pub. And at some point in the evening, they played the Irish national anthem, and I'd never seen it before. The whole pub came to a standstill with their hands on their chest, singing Ireland's Call. I was absolutely blown away. I actually asked the DJ to do it again, just so that I can see it again. It was so impressive. And the worst is, not one of those people were Irish.
Irish.
They were not.
But did the Sharks lose?
Actually, funny enough, that game ended in a draw. I think it was
Okay, now we
30
can
all.
talk. Now we can talk.
Are you a Sharks fan?
No, I'm a Sharks fan, I must admit.
Okay.
But they close to me. The Cheetahs are close to me.
Yeah, but you say you must admit as if it's a bad thing to be a Sharks fan. to tell you the absolute truth, I'm not a Sharks fan per se. I do support the Sharks when they play against any other team except the Lions. I'm a Lions supporter.
I'll have to tell you a secret. The last time I watched rugby was when, I think it was Gary Player, was called LBW at Wimbledon. I think they called it a birdie. I'm not sure.
Oh man, that was that wonderful test match about 2 years ago. Thomie, do you like sports in general?
Yeah, I do enjoy rugby. I do enjoy my soccer. Not cricket though.
All right, let's talk about football a little bit, because the number 7 comes to mind. Do you support any of those teams that conceded 7 recently?
You're making me thinking of gambling right now. No, I have no idea.
Who do you support?
Let's not talk sport.
Okay, so I take that as a big yes then. Thomie, where did it all begin? Where did the acting thing begin?
I think the day I was born, my mother most probably didn't want me, and I always tried to be somebody else, hoping she would accept me, something like that, I think. I've been exposed to the theatre world from a very young age by my parents. First time I was on stage was at age 6, and it never stopped. And eventually I performed in Bloemfontein with Packhofs, then Packhofs, and also the University Drama Department. And in later years, I acted in the amateur world, but always been my passion to go for it full out. And in the last 20 years, that's exactly what I've been doing. It's not a money maker, but it is a passionate, as you are about your music, I am about theatre. It's a passion.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, the money's nice, but it's more about the passion. You've done some television as well, and more in particular, that's Oompiet. Is it Oompiet or Oompiet?
Oompiet, yeah.
And that was in Snake Park.
Yeah.
And you landed.
That was lovely to do. Say again?
No, carry on.
No, it was lovely to do, especially the one day that we had to do I was a former surfer, and I've never surfed in my entire life. And it was a wet day, and they had to clean the beach, everything for me to run into the beach and get a heart attack with underwater cameras catching me while I'm getting this heart attack. And Daryl Ruitt, the director, said, "Thomie, just get it right, because we can't clean the beach again. Your footprints, everything. We just got to get it right the first time." And I've never practiced. I've never been in the ocean doing this. So I did it. I did it beautifully. I dived in. I had my heart attack. I literally almost died with a real lifesavers getting me out of the water, doing resuscitation, the whole thing. And I was very, very proud of myself. And the director said, "Sadly, we have to do it. It was really, really brilliant. But you had the surfboard upside down." Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, dear. So you had to do it all over again.
I had to do it all over again, drying the costume, drying the hair, all that. But yeah, we did it again.
Goodness gracious.
I never saw the scene on TV.
Did it make the cut?
I don't know.
Now, coming from a theatre background, and obviously predominantly theatre, what's the adjustment like going over to television? Because I think television is very different.
Well, it is extremely different. I honestly don't find it as enjoyable at all. You have no rapport with your audience. You have no connection. You have no control over the final product. You're a puppet. You know, it's really lights, sound, camera, action. Oh, damn, where's the actor? You know, it's not about the actor. It's a total different medium. You've got to tone down a lot. I've worked with a few good film actors, and they could guide me. But ultimately, it's rooted in the theater. You know, but it's smaller. It's much smaller. It's more in their eyes. Yeah, it's a total different thing. It is enjoyable because the money is better, but it is not. It's not really my passion.
Now, from an actual physical doing the job, what's the biggest difference between television and theatre? Would you say, aside from the cameras being around you and stuff like that?
Well, it's really the relationship that you do not have with your audience. You do it with a camera. It's a different style. It's smaller. It's more intimate. Voice projection is far less. It's totally different. And as I say, there's no exchange, because theatre is really a tennis game between the audience and the performers, which is just not there. And you've got to find it in a camera, and you've got to be pretty to do that. So sadly, I wasn't born pretty, so I don't really do that so well. But it is a different medium. It is exciting in its own way. But ultimately, no, theatre is bigger, it's larger than life, it's real, and it has a huge impact on people still, even despite that we're now living in a digital age and everybody is on YouTube. Live theatre is magic. No performance is ever no audience is ever the same, and you never know what's going to happen, and that makes the magic.
Did you ever think about taking your career overseas? Like to
As a no, I never have. No, I'm actually extremely passionate about South African theatre. Theatre is a medium whereby you can influence people, you can talk to people, you can make people think. And ideally for me, it's always in Durban as well. It's a big thing that we do South African theatre, and we talk to people on topics that they can relate to. So I don't really relate to, and I've no dreams of being this big actor. I've had a few awards, I've had some, but that's not important. It's more that educational edutainment thing, whatever people want to call it, the impact that you could make. I mean, we did in the 70s and 80s, we did a lot of protest theatre. Today, there's social concerns that we have to address. Racism still needs to be addressed, but we need to build a total new culture amongst all South Africans. And theatre's got such an enormous part to play in it. And especially now, even at my little theatre, it's small, it's intimate, but the impact is absolutely tremendous. No, I've never ever had, not even Joburg. I've never had that dream to be anywhere else.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your theatre that you've got.
Yes, Altitude was started 5 years ago, and then we did the occasional one or two handers, but mainly in November, December, bit of January, we do the adult panto. Adult panto has been running for years, and then it didn't have a home after Suncoast did the alterations or the extensions there. We didn't have a home, and I decided to take over the franchise and keep it going here at Altitude. It's small. It's how it started originally as an intimate piece. It's taking the mickey out of whatever fairy tale you can think of. So 5 years ago, we started doing it here. And of course, lockdown sent us into a total new direction with theatre. We need the smaller venues now. We can't go to the big theatres. It's just not economically viable to do shows there. So we've decided to create a platform where some of our best actors can now perform on a smaller scale. It's fabulous. They can still earn a little bit of money and actually connect with the audiences in a better space, in a much different level. So yeah, we call it On Stage at Altitude. Altitude is a club, which we can't operate at the moment. So we're operating it as a daytime coffee shop and a nighttime internet theatre. Supper theatre, we have a little restaurant on the premises, lovely a la carte menu. And we perform Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, all the way now until the panto starts. And from there on, it will be Wednesday to Saturday, every day. Some days we have Sundays, we have Sunday shows as well. Every Sunday night we have open mic comedy shows. It's exciting. It's a smorgasbord of South African pieces, which is absolutely lovely.
That's beautiful. Okay, we're going to definitely talk more about the adult pantos, because I've seen a couple of them and I really enjoyed them, and I love what you guys do and how you guys do it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that when we come back. We're going to take a short music break right now, and also I want to talk about your role in comedy, or specifically as a comedic actor.
Good.
Awesome. Right, so like I said, a little music break, and then we'll be right back. It's got to be perfect, yes. And that, of course, is Fairground Attraction on RTLSA. And on the show tonight, Thomie Holtzhausen is still with us. And have you got yourself a little beverage, good sir?
Yeah, I had to because I don't have the radio thing that you have. Cheers.
What's your poison?
What's my poison? This is an interesting one. I drink a tot of Southern Comfort and a tot of whiskey with a dash of lime.
Okay, so Southern Comfort and whiskey with a dash of lime.
With a dash of lime, yeah.
That's interesting.
It sounds like it takes the harshness of the whiskey away and the sweetness of the Southern Comfort. So it's fabulous. You must try it sometime.
No, I
just pop in for a show and I'll buy you one.
Oh, that sounds like an absolute plan. But I'll tell you what, I used to drink Jack and Lime, and I used to drink Southerns and Lime as well back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm very familiar with the lime thing. What's getting me is the whiskey with the either or. What whiskey is it?
Bell's.
Bell's. Okay. So Southern.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me.
So you can call it a Southern Bell's and Lime.
Southern Bell's.
You should coin it. Sell it as a drink at altitude.
You know what? I had a dear friend of mine, and she's now living in the Cape in Kuberg, and her name is Fifi, a nickname, and we call it a Fifi drink. So yeah.
The Fifi drink.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this pantomime, the adult panto.
Yes.
I went to quite a few of them. The earliest one was when you guys were still back at the Catalina Theatre, I think, back in the day. Were you involved in those?
No, I wasn't at the Catalina. I got involved, I think, after the Catalina, 13 years ago. It was the first adult panto I did. I did Cinderella at the time. Oh, no, I did Robin Hood, doesn't matter. I did Robin Hood, I think, was my first one. But there's been for the last 13 years, I've been involved in it.
Awesome. And then
and now producing it and writing it.
So now you're producing and writing as well. That's I was actually going to ask about that, because it's got to be quite tough to do an adult pantomime. Because I think you've got to, as suggestive as what you are, you've still got to be careful about how you put it out on stage. Would it be a fair assessment to say that?
Yeah, you know what? No, what is making it more difficult today than even as little as 5 years ago is you have to be so PC.
Yeah,
you've got to be so careful not to offend. I mean, comedy is being threatened with this PC thing. It's really, really difficult. I mean, there's always sexual innuendos, but you now have to be careful that you can't joke with the daughter on the bluff type of thing anymore, because, it's the Me Too movement and all this. You have to be careful. Yeah, so it's a bit of a challenge. You want to be naughty, you want to be fun, you want to be relevant, but thank God the government is giving us so much material to write at the moment. I mean, we had a fabulous comedy here. So you can literally just page through the news and pick a line. So it was so irrational, it was so ridiculous. So it's not difficult. Although it got so far-fetched that I don't think anybody wants to see or hear about it anymore. So yeah, we will certainly in this year's Panto, we will joke about the COVID a little bit, but not too much. I think we're all a bit tired of it. But government, I mean, some of the things they did was just beautiful. So it gives us material.
What was your favorite thing that government did?
My least favorite was the damn smoking. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? I must say, I took my hat off to the government. I think what they did was the right thing to do. But typical African